Thank you very much. So I am now going to hand over to Jeremy, who is going to talk to us about balanced life. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you very much. I'm a bit of a born waffler, so I'm going to have to try and keep myself on time here. So thank you very much for the opportunity. This is an introduction of balanced life, and we're not actually a tech startup, we're a startup for techs. So this is me. The idea behind balanced life is helping organisations and teams improve the well-being of their staff, but also their performance, and start to reduce those costs associated with the teams. But the more important introduction I want to give you is this one, and this is me at my lowest point. And I think a lot of people will kind of look at that and that's pretty cool. But this was a Sunday morning. I was a IT director working for a Fortune 500 company. I've been picked up by the chauffeur in his S-Class, driven down to Heathrow, gone through the secret security gate that Virgin have, through to the lounge, a couple of champagnes in, get on the plane. And this is me taking my Instagram best life. Yeah, and everyone is now jealous of me that's seeing me live this life. But the problem is, at the same time as this picture, I'm panicking. At this stage in my career, I'm burnt out. I'm struggling with anxiety. It used to make me panic to take a 2-minute taxi ride because I was worried about needing to go to the bathroom. And I just set myself with such high expectations and had such perfectionist traits that I was kind of trapped. I was feeling numb. I didn't really know how to go through my career anymore, and I was kind of just this sort of numb person, not really excelling where I wanted to be, and also not really being the dad and the partner that I should do. My panic was the fasten seatbelt signs coming on, and just before the plane took off, I sent my wife a text message and said, I can't go on like this. I then sent her a quick clarification that I wasn't doing something stupid at 38,000 feet, but something had to change. So when I came back, I went on this journey of self-improvement. So I worked out what were the causes of the challenges I was having, helped myself improve my mindset, found out how to be more productive with the time I had, so I could have that time at home, worked on my health and fitness and all other areas. And the surprising thing was, I was happier, I was healthier, but I actually started progressing more at work. I was seen as this more engaging person than I was before. I wasn't so closed down. And that's where I realised you can actually have this balance. You can achieve the amazing careers that you want. You can have that time with your family, and actually having more time focused on those things that are enriching you as a person and making you a better leader and a better individual in the organisation. And that's really where balanced life came from. It's me discovering that it's not just me. I started putting stuff on social media about I had an anxiety toolkit, and a few people pinged me and said, I have the exact same toolkit. And just so everyone knows, mine was a bathroom anxiety. I couldn't go anywhere without toilet paper and Imodium in my pocket. And people were like, I have that exact same toolkit. People that I've worked with for years, and you suddenly realise so many people are struggling with this, whether it's the top of the organisation, bottom of the organisation, it's kind of rife. So like all good startups, we went and did a lot of research. So we talked to individuals and we talked to teams, and we do scorecards, we do interviews and workshop sessions. And what we found was that the main challenges, and I think these will resonate with a lot of people, is the sheer volume of last-minute work, the busy work, the fire drills that have to come through and get done, the inability to say no. I think from a very logic-driven organisation like IT, and we have a lot of perfectionists, I'm top of that list on perfectionism. That's why I've been panicking about these slides a little bit today. Lack or inefficiency of process. Now this throws people because we have tons of process in IT, but often it's people are trying to go round the process, or they're finding excuses not to use the process. So then we're rebuilding from the ground up every time someone wants something slightly different. Actually, good process should enable us to be more creative, because you have this set process that people can follow. Your brain's free to work on other stuff, but that doesn't happen. And then lastly, just that lack of recovery time, that feeling overwhelmed. And I think the last couple of years especially, where you shut your laptop down, or maybe don't, and you have to go downstairs and have dinner with the kids. There's no separation. You take your work home with you. but also when you wake up in the morning and you come into the office, those stresses and strains you've already had from your life, whether it's the bad night's sleep, whether it's the argument with the kids to get them dressed in the morning, you're bringing that into work. So it's this just overwhelming cycle. And as you'll see, we wanted to make sure this was clear with the research as well. So we've got pre-pandemic research and we've got during and sort of post-pandemic. And you can really see some of these numbers are staggering. When we did them, we sort of double fact-checked. But 70 million workdays are lost due to mental illness annually, and this is just in the UK. The 33 to 42 billion is lost every year, and 50% of that is from presenteeism. So people are in the office, but they're burnt out, they're struggling, they're procrastinating, they're not doing the things that they need to do. And then that 45% of sick leave being stress-related. And then, as you can see, the pandemic has just spiked that with 21% increase in burnout, the 57% of people feeling stressed on that daily basis. And you can just see that kind of groundswell is coming up. But we don't talk about it. I mean, we have this stiff upper lip and everything, and I never wanted to tell my boss because I wouldn't get the interesting projects, or maybe I'd get looked over for a promotion, and then that means that I can't provide for my family, and it sort of starts to snowball. The reality is probably not that, but it's in my head, and then it's reality to me. So something has to change. And what we're seeing is, there's well-being programs that are all well-intentioned, but they don't often fix the problem. So you'll have, let's say Pilates Tuesday, where at 11 o'clock you're allowed to go to a Pilates lesson. So I've got my one-to-one with my boss at 10 o'clock that morning. I tell him that I'm really struggling, I've got too much work on. Then what am I going to do? Get my yoga mat, I'm going to walk past him and go, oh, I'm just off for Pilates for an hour. Pilates is a really important thing to do with movement, blood flow and clearing your head. But you can't do these initiatives when you're not in the right place. Same thing with Zoom-free Fridays. If you work in a global organisation, what's a Friday afternoon? I say I won't have a Friday afternoon meeting. The US says, well, it's our Friday morning. So you have these things, but you can't really go in and do them. With the perks, then I hear a lot of blaming millennials, blaming Gen Zs. They're lazy. They don't do this. I'm just a millennial. And actually, in a lot of ways, they've got their minds sorted a little bit better, where they actually want to work for a company with purpose. They understand the value of having a bit more relaxation. They understand a job's not for life anymore and they can move. And then lastly, a lot of people are hiring or outsourcing to cover this problem, to mask this problem, and that's just hitting the bottom line. So that impact of people feeling like this, to have to operate like this, people are feeling overwhelmed, they're stressed, they're burnt out. When we did some of the research, people are feeling frazzled was a really good term that people kept coming up with. And this is leading to people needing to take time off work. And then, as you can imagine, that has an impact on performance. So there's less work being done because the people either aren't in the work or they're sort of sifting their way through the day, doing the low-end work rather than the big strategic stuff. And then that impacts you financially because your projects are late, maybe your product launch is late, and then you're having to cover additional staff. So you can see that it's not just the individual, it's the organisation that gets impacted, so it's both sides. So what we do at Balanced Life is we look to reset the balance. And when we tell people this, they give us a funny look about how do we do this? But it's really a unique approach, which is well-being through performance optimisation. It's focusing on simple steps to move people forward. So what we do is we help to reduce the last minute work, reduce the process challenges that people have, and then really ramp the well-being. And we do this through really focusing on culture, but it very much depends on organisations what the focus is. So we focus on the culture. Whether you're at the top of the organisation or starting your career, you have these same challenges. People are, you can't say the execs are the ones that are getting burnt out. It's everyone in this organisation. So we make it real. We start interactions between people. We run panels. We make people realise that the VP of the department is struggling just as much as the junior staff. We do programs where we give people these healthy habits, and I'll show you an example in a second, where slowly over time we can educate people so it's not overwhelming. They can feel that little bit better each day rather than saying, here's 30 hours of content, go watch it, or here's 2 days on a program, learn this, and now you're better. And just providing support, so whether it's drop-in sessions, whether it's additional content, whether it's coaching if people need it, giving people the opportunity to get support rather than either being pushed on them or feeling like they're getting this content with no support. So just quickly, this is something should have checked the formatting. This is something that we've just launched with a Fortune 500 pharmaceutical, and it's really around habits. So on a Monday morning, every other week, we release a new habit. So that may be around setting your intentions for the day. What are the 3 most important things? How to do time blocking, how to improve your sleep, how to get exercise in. Through the week, we then support it. We encourage people, and we've had some amazing interactions. Like this week, we're talking about 3 things. And we've got people spread across the world that are talking about what they're doing. Someone got the Peloton out, and someone said, no, don't get a Peloton out. Go ride a real bike in the countryside and enjoy the fresh air. And actually making these human bonds and connections between the organisation rather than just dropping out this content. And then the other way is taking a more traditional approach of helping people really understand their values, their vision, their mission, helping them have these healthy routines, how to be more productive. So this marginal gain through. And the goal of the programme is just to increase workforce performance, increase the engagement, increase the well-being, and reduce that operational cost. When we talk to people, if we can save you 1 person quitting, that would pay for this programme when you think about the recruitment cost, the hiring time, the lost productivity. So CISOs look away now, but I'll open up for questions. But we have a scorecard. If you'd like to take this scorecard, the QR code's there or the link, and it gives people a score on how they're doing on a high performance and balanced life, plus gives you some actionable insights about how to improve your routine. So with that, I will pause for questions and realise I've probably run over my time.
Questions, we'll move straight on.